Absolutely. Well, we would like to thank those of you that were kind enough to call us during the months of November and December when we gave away thousands of pounds of chitlins. You made it possible, and we would like to thank you. And we do hope that you enjoyed the chitlins. And hometown, located at 2001 Northeast 23rd Street, we'd like to thank you for your participation in the 1996 chitlin strut, or whatever you want to call it. That's hometown, 2001 Northeast 23rd Street. Dr. A.L. Dow would like to say thank you for your business in 1996, and he's looking forward to 1997 being the most outstanding year of his career. He wants to make sure that you can see, and you can't see unless you have the proper glasses where you can see how to read, and you want to read books and what have you, newspapers and all of that. Dr. A.L. Dow is located at 934 Northeast 8th Street. His telephone number is 235-0536. That's Dr. A.L. Dow. So many times we worry about our children. What are we going to do with our children? Well, I have a recommendation for you. Chancellor Dina's preschool and nursery, located at 1643 Northeast 50th Street. The telephone number is 424-4656. Now I have some good news for you, because Chancellor Dina's preschool and nursery is open on Martin Luther King at 2611 North Martin Luther King, and it's open 6 days a week. The telephone number there is 427-5274. And you say, Clara, what time is it open? It's open on Mondays through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Isn't that something? 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. On Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Mrs. Gloria Matthews and Mr. Paul Matthews, we'd like to thank you for your support in 1996. And in 1997, they're going to show you, not talk about it, exactly what they can do with your children. They can teach them songs, they can teach them poems, they can teach them how to play various games. And I'm talking about all kind of games. Now, they do take drop-ins. That's 2611 North Martin Luther King. You may call 427-5274. Chancellor Shardina's. Don't forget that name. Now, sometimes we overlook the things that are really important, but I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to put it down on your schedule. Mrs. Alpha Omega Wilson, the mother of C.P. Wilson and Rosetta and Rosie Lee Heron, will be celebrating her 100th birthday on January the 11th, 1997, from 1 to 5 p.m. at 6525 North Lottie Street here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Clarissa Douglas, the granddaughter, is really excited about it, and those of you that plan to join in this celebration, she said call her at 478-1106. Mrs. Alpha Omega Wilson will be celebrating her 100th birthday. 100 years. Oh, that will be something. And Clarissa says that she and the children are honoring their mother and their grandmother and their great-grandmother and great-great-grandmother on her 100th birthday. Now, this is an open house, and it's a come-and-go affair. We would like for you to come by and speak to Mrs. Wilson and tell her how much you love her. This is the Clara Luper radio show. And a special hello and thank you to my friends all over this state. You have been very kind to me, and I do appreciate those of you that have called me, those of you that have purchased my books. And incidentally, I would like to thank Mr. Gates, who's been serving as a warehouse for my book. And those of you that have not bought Facts About the Black History Monument and Wall, I want you to do that because I want to make sure that you are educated in your own history. I would like to thank the library at Millwood High School that has just ordered books. And those of you that are in the Millwood School, go in and read. Read about yourself. I know you know about Shakespeare, but do you know about Emily Freeman? Do you know about Evelyn Pittman? Do you know about William Hunter? And those of you that will be seeing Ghost of Mississippi, do you know about Medgar Evers? You should know that this is your history, and you cannot escape history. You cannot escape it. And certainly those of you that have not gotten your book, you may call me today at 672-1220. I know you are with me. I've gotten so many calls from you asking me what do I think about black English. And I'm going to tell you because I want to hear what you think about it. Now, I want to make my position clear. I'm not speaking for nobody now but Clara Luper. I don't feel that there is any place in the United States for so-called black English. I am not impressed with California, with its law to outlaw affirmative action, with its law on marijuana. I am not at all excited about California. The Oakland, California decision to make black English a second language in the city school, I feel, is a very bad, tragic mistake. Black English is actually just bad English. Making it a second language is ridiculous and should be disregarded. Plain standard English is the only language that children should learn in school. You should not make any difference in children. When a child says he done it, for he did it, he is simply using bad English. Probably he learned it in a home where good English was not spoken, largely because children in the home learn from parents. But the parents who did not have the opportunity to go to school when young and to learn good English. Now, the Oakland School District is proposing that teachers translate such statements into good English. There's no translation. Bad English is just bad English. Boys and girls should be taught plain, standard English from the time they learn to talk at home until they enter school. The bad English that some call black English is just incorrect. There's no way to make it a language. I appreciate what Dr. Cameron, an English scholar in Kansas City, has often written articles denouncing black English. He has warned the people in Kansas City that permitting children to use a language that they learn, bad language, have not prepared them to work in a democratic society. I think there is no place in the United States for black English to be taught in school. And therefore, I would like to stop and salute the teachers at Hoffman, Oklahoma, Professor Watkins, a principal, a teacher who, when we would make a mistake in English, would correct us, would make us write it over correctly many times. I would like to salute the teachers at Grayson High School that corrected us. In place of saying, yes, I'm coming down, I know you need bad English, so you cannot get a job. That's what it basically is. Can you imagine walking into a business with broken English saying that I want this job? And if what the teacher should do, they should motivate students, show them that they are living in a world where they are going to have to work. Now, if school has any purpose, one of the purpose must be preparing people for the job market. Now, how can you be prepared for the job market with a cotton sack full of bad English? That is ridiculous. Ridiculous. You cannot do it. We've got to teach our children, and maybe we have to teach the teachers to motivate our children, to tell those children if they learn to speak correctly, they can become news reporters, news writers. They can become business leaders. They can become, because I don't want to go to my doctor and he's sitting up there with a lot of broken English, I want my doctor to have some knowledge of English, and I want to be corrected, and I don't mind being corrected. And I think the parents should be thrilled to have teachers that care enough about children to correct them. Calvin, what do you think about black English? What do you actually think about it?
Well, I knew you were going to ask me that question, and Happy New Year to you and to the listening audience. And I started to come over with and say, in my own brand of Black English, but I enjoy being on the Clara Luper radio show, and I know that
You won't be on here
this
long using a lot of
that's
black
where
English.
and or breaking a verb or any of those things that we've spent years teaching our children, and the youth spent years teaching me not to break vowels and all that. So I know not to come on this radio show doing that. So that should give you an idea of what I think about Ebonomics or Black English, because even though it may be a place in the California classroom, I don't feel that in the real life classroom, say in Toronto, Canada, or New York City, or Miami, Florida, that you're going to find a Black English that's going to work there and enable you to communicate with people from across this beautiful country of ours and from around this world. And this is a worldwide situation now. The little education that we give and that we get here in the Oklahoma City public school system has to prepare us to be able to deal with the world. And I suggest that we learn the best English that we can, the best French that we can, the best Spanish that we can, the German, any foreign language, and Latin. All of those languages you find are a little more important and are a lot more useful than our favorite dialect that we've spent years trying to get away from, and that's the Ebonomics of the Black English thing that we're discussing. But Mama, the big thing that I want to say to all of us out there that listen to the radio show and that are part of it, I want all of us to remember Brother Gamble that's at Gates Barbershop, because this is the first weekend of the new year that he hasn't been there at the Gates Barbershop taking care of business, and we know it's getting shorter and shorter, so we look for him to be back at Gates Barbershop within the next 4 or 5 weeks.
No, he's not going to be out that long.
Yes,
I
he
bet
will
he'll
be
back next week. Mr.
No,
Gamble,
Mr.
you
Gamble,
can't keep.
Mr.
Okay,
Gamble
we'll
will be
see.
back. I thought he had about 3 or
We'll
4
see.
weeks of
We'll see.
recuperating to do. But no matter what, we're looking forward to him getting back. And I hope as the program progresses, too, that you'll give us an opportunity to know what some of your New Year's resolutions were, Mom.
Well, my New Year's
don't have to
resolution
tell me
is to
now,
tell
but-
everybody that I don't believe in black English. Now, I want to make my position clear. And incidentally, I will be on television this evening with
Certainly
Miss-
will, huh?
the state superintendent of schools.
We-
We'll be discussing what we think about black English.
You know,
And that would be
Saturday. That's today, January the 4th, on channel 35. No, channel 13 at 5:30 p.m. That's after the
5:30
games.
p.m.
5:30 p.m. on channel 13 this Saturday, and then on Sunday tomorrow on channel 43 at 8 p.m. And I know that's going to be a lively discussion, because I can see the way you're reacting now, that how deeply you believe in just straight English, or good English, or better English, or improvements in English, no matter what dialect or what area you're brought up in, or what area you may come from. But then I look forward to 5:30 this evening on channel 13, seeing what Clara Luper is going to say there. And I know that we'll probably be hearing the same thing. We should be hearing the same thing that we hear here on the Clara Luper radio show right here at KTLV.
Well, I made my position clear. Now, people get you away from your goal. It's amazing to me how first they want to get rid of affirmative action. Now they want to give you plenty marijuana so that you can't see straight. And here saying, okay, how about black English?
Mom, will they be
I
writing?
want to know what
Yeah,
the
will
public
they be
feels.
writing? Will you be learning how to write in black
No,
English?
excuse
or
me.
you
The
just
first they're going to
speak-
teach
speaking?
the teachers black English. They're going to teach the teachers how to teach and understand black English. And now, what do you think the teachers are going to do with it? Well, anyway, I know that today at 10 o'clock, I would like to invite you to the Keepers of the Dream 1997 Awards brunch, where the Ebony Tribune newspaper will be saluting Oklahomans who are keeping the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. alive. That's Saturday at Applewoods, 4301 Southwest 3rd Street in Oklahoma City, and it's at 10 a.m. The Keepers of the Dream 1997 Awards brunch. You want to take those old pictures that you have and those new pictures and put them on video. I want you to call Nathaniel Carr 424-1591. 424-1591. It's time now to talk about Miss Black Oklahoma because it is Miss Black Oklahoma time. We will have our first pageant on February the 1st, which will be at Cameron University in Lawton, Oklahoma. And then on February the 8th, we'll be at Oklahoma University, and I could go on down the line. But I want to remind those of you that live in the Oklahoma City area that it's time now for you to put your beautiful daughters, your beautiful nieces, your beautiful friends in the Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant, or Miss Black Midwest City, or Miss Black Dale City. Calvin, how do you think Oklahoma City? Now, Tulsa's pageant will be March the 8th, and there's no way in the world Tulsa can come up with more talented young ladies than we.
What do you mean? In the Miss
Tulsa,
Black Oklahoma,
in the Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant.
and Miss
Now, we
Black
know the Miss
Tulsa.
Black Oklahoma pageant will be in Lawton, Oklahoma on June 14th through the 21st, and that city is really going all out
Lawton
for
is
the
really
pageant.
laying out the red carpet for the entire Miss Black Oklahoma staff and the participants and the contestants.
And Fort Seal,
and
don't
Fort
look,
Seal, that's going to
don't
be
please,
exciting.
don't please.
And I know those of you who've been with the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant over the past 27 years, you're going to really enjoy the reception and the activities that will be held in Lawton, Oklahoma. But before we get to Lawton, you're right, Mom. We have to get through Oklahoma City. We have to have Miss Black Tulsa pageant.
Miss Black UCO, Miss Black
UCO,
OU.
Langston, OU,
Oh, yes.
Cameron, all these universities and different communities. The competition has started now. And we had a meeting this past week, with the Miss Black Oklahoma City contestants. There was a beautiful bunch of young ladies, some new pages coming in, and some new participants, and all the way around. It looks like it's going to be a great show. Now, the depth of the talent, I don't know, but I know this, that we have always presented a very strong front from Oklahoma City with some great and some good talent. This year, I'm certain that we're going to be able to at least do that, and hopefully we'll do even better.
Calvin, we need the parents, and the relatives, and all to push our children. They need to be pushed into pageants and opportunities because once you are in a pageant, you get some strength that you cannot get anywhere else. Now, if you have a daughter who's shy, send that daughter to us. We will take that child, that shy girl, and you won't know her when she walks out on the stage on March 1st, which is Miss Black Oklahoma City. That's March 1st, and call us 672-1220.
But not only shy, Mom, but if you find a young lady like, during the Christmas holidays, we had quite a few former Miss Black Oklahoma contestants and pages that would come by and they'd call and just thank everybody for the experiences that they got there participating in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageantry program, So
that's self-confidence and that
you gain in so
positive.
many different ways. Like one young man that stands that I can remember real vividly because it was just the other day during the Miss Black Oklahoma City preliminaries was when Terrence Littlejohn came home. Well, he's home
But Terrence Littlejohn has been in Bosnia, and
Right.
he's home for the holidays.
But the way he
and-
carries himself
it's
now, and
unbelievable.
he attributed that to the NACP Youth Council and to working with the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. So
Well,
it's
his
not
little sister's in the page this
right.
year.
So it's not just a temporary investment that you're making when you work with the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant when your children are involved, but it's a lifelong experience that you yourself will gain from.
I told you last week that I needed pages, and you responded. I'm happy to report that we do have the exact number of pages that we need for 1997. And that's why today I'm telling you
Is that
about.
for the city only? Or
That's
for
for the
state?
city.
Oh,
The
city.
state. See, in the state, we don't have control of that. For example, the people in Ardmore will have their own pages, the people in Tulsa, and what have you. But we have our quota in Oklahoma City. Now, I'm telling you this week that we need contestants for the 1997 Miss Black Oklahoma pageant, Oklahoma City pageant. Now, that's very important. We need pages, not pages, we need contestants. Don't you wait until next week and call me and say, Clara, I want my daughter, my cousin, my sister to be in the pageant, because I'm telling you now, and I'm talking to you directly, we want your participation. But you will have to let us know, because our people will have to be trained. We need you now. So call me at 672-1220, and you know you have some beautiful young people out there that need to be involved in something. And if they don't get involved in something, they will fall for nothing. Merlin Luper Hildred, an agent of the Allstate Insurance Company, an independent agent, presented a $14,500 check from the Allstate Insurance Foundation to Mr. Brown, Tom Brown, president of the Oklahoma City United Way. And Merlin, I would like to salute you and the people at Allstate Insurance Company with thanks for the $14,500 that you presented. Calvin is all smiles.
Mom, I stay all smiles, especially this on a beautiful Saturday morning like this. But I'm sort of in a rush too, along with the smile, because we have a caller that's calling on star 1220 that wants to make a comment about economics, the
Okay.
statements we were making.
Hello.
Good morning, Mrs. Luper. This is Lily Buckner. Congratulations and Happy New Year. I am so happy to hear you come out against Black English.
Well, thank you.
I am happy. I just think it is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of.
Well, thank you so very kindly.
And I'm so grateful that the teachers at Dungy High School corrected us every time we attempted to split a verb or to use bad English.
Well, I thank you. Thank you so very kindly.
So keep up the good work and God bless you.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Okay. Boy, that makes you feel good when people call you and say, I agree with you. Well, those of you that don't agree with me, call me and give me your reason, because there are three sides to every story, the right, the wrong, and then your side. You be the judge. But I don't want no Black English, certainly. Those of you that are out in radio land, if you can tell me where you can get a job speaking Black English, then and then only will I say it has some value. But I don't think IBM, I don't think Tinker, I don't think FAA, I don't think the telephone company will allow you and welcome you, have a big sign up there, welcome to those of you that speak Black English. Well, one thing about it, we got to talk the kind of language that would give us some green. We need some green. And I like to say in 1997, we need to make more money, because we can't make more money fooling around talking about Black English. What else do they want us to talk about? And that reminds me of what they did to us in the Oklahoma City school system. They talked about the Phoenix program, and we're going to rise from the dust. And when we knew anything, they had us right back where we were. I mean, they have us back there in terms of schools and things, but they can't put our minds back there, because there's an old song that we used to sing. I'm not going to let nobody turn me around, not the Board of Education or whatever you, and nobody's going to separate me from white folks. Now, one thing about it, we need white folks and we need black folks. We need each other. And I want to say that loud and clear, because I remember during the sanitation strike, when we brought this city down, somebody said, we don't need those sanitation workers. But boy, when that garbage started piling up, people began to cry, we want our sanitation workers, sanitation workers. This portion of our program is brought to you by Clara Luper with our book, Facts About the Black History Monument and Wall, written by Clara Luper. And that is really outstanding, because if you want to know what good English will do for you, all you have to do is to read Clara Luper's book. Because the people that's in that book learned to speak English, and they were proud for somebody to correct them. And that's what we got to teach our children. We got to teach our children they need to be corrected, because we are preparing for the 21st century, which will be a century of computerized information. And if you don't know enough English to put it in the computer, what are you going to do? And there's an old song, where are you going to stand in that day, children, when they start calling for good English? And then you come up and say, well, I have been accepted because I speak black language. I didn't know language had a color, but anyway, they brought the slaves to America where they taught them nothing. Because for years it was against the law to teach a slave how to read and write. And you think I'm going to let somebody get me on a trip? And one thing I can say, as long as you can get black folks to speak, white folks say it's all right. But I want you to know that there were a lot of black folks that didn't want to be free. Now, don't get your history books. There were a lot of them say, I'm not going to leave the plantation. I'm going to stay right here. And that's just like putting somebody in a fish bowl and they continue to go round and round. Well, I've left the plantation and I'm not going to let anybody turn me around. And I appeal to you. You know, we are offering a prize for those of you that are reading books. And we want you to go to Ralph Ellison's library and check out some books. And Mrs. Davis and the staff are going to keep me informed and see who's reading. And I want you to read those books, and I'm going to give you $50, the one that reads the largest number of books in middle school and grade school. I think that's what, well, Mrs. Davis will be here next week to tell you all about it. As we prepare to celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday, let's not forget that we owe that to somebody. It just didn't happen all at once. It just didn't fall out of the sky. There are people that would come over here and march with us, and then after the march, they go straight back to their places and stay without any help in this community. Can you imagine what this community would be like if we had support from the marchers? Oh, it's all right to march with me, and I laugh a lot because I had a friend that would always tell me what I should do. One of my white friends, oh, Miss Luper, you ought to do this. And then she was telling me about Jesus and what Jesus said. And Jesus told her to call me and tell me to come to her church. And I said, that's really funny because I feel that the Lord wants you to come and join my church. And when I say that, she hadn't called me since. This is the Clara Luper radio show. This portion of our show is brought to you by Passion Home and Health Care, located at 3838 Northwest 36th Street. The telephone number is 943-5779. 943-5779. Now, Passion Home Care will take care of your people. You don't have to throw them in the hospital. All you will have to do is to call Passion Home Health Care, where they get that super care, where they will look after your every need, where if you need medicine, they will give you the medicine. You need food prepared. Name it, and they will do it. Don't take my word for it. Call Passion Home and Health Care, 943-5779. And they do have a program, give me a free hand, 946-8928. Yes, Calvin.
Yes, I want to remind everyone that you are listening to KTLV, the Clara Luper Radio Show. The phone number, we invite your comments on anything that we discuss on the show. The phone number out here is 672-1220. And this record goes out to all of you who are listening, but it has been brought to you by Facts About the Black History Wall and Monument. We will play just a little bit of that so that you have an opportunity to call out here and you become a part of this, the Clara Luper Radio Show, with your New Year's resolutions. How about it, Dean? Let's go with it. You bring out the very best in me.
And at this time, I'm proud to present, for the first time in 1997, my sports reporter. Hello?
Yes, how you doing?
I'm fine.
You know what?
What?
Today is my birthday.
Happy birthday, Bryant. How old are you now?
17.
You're 17 years old. Oh, you're getting old.
Yeah, I'm getting up there.
Yes, you sure are getting up there. 17 years old, and I want to hear your report and see if it's better than it was when you were 16.
Okay. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brandon Bryan, bringing all you folks out there in Radio Land. You're a Saturday morning sports page. In the NBA, the world champion Chicago Bulls defeated the Cavaliers 102-97. Jordan shot for 45 points. Karl Malone scored 15 points during a 27-6 third quarter run that sparked the Jazz to a 110-84 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers. The Supersonics were defeated by the Mavericks 95-90. Derek Harper had 21 points in the first half. The Pistons defeated the Hornets 97-85. Grant Hill scored 29 points. The Rockets defeated the Warriors 140-95. Elijah Wan scored 31 points, and Charles Barkley grabbed 19 rebounds for the Rockets. And Jason Kidd, making his Phoenix Suns debut, injured his neck and shoulder on the final play of the second quarter. Now let's move on to college basketball. In the Big 12, Shea Seals steals the spotlight from OU as he scored 29 points, including 5 threes, in a 78-75 Hurricane victory over the Sooners. OSU defeated Nevada 70-50. Baylor beat Northwestern Louisiana 65-56. Colorado defeated Missouri Kansas City 82 to 61. Texas Tech beat Wyoming 77 to 74. Nebraska defeated Old Dominion 72 to 66. And Kansas defeated Washburn 90 to 65. In the top 25, number 4 Iowa State defeated Texas Pan Am 66 to 42. Number 9 Arizona blew out Pennsylvania 93 to 51. Number 13 Duke put a real good whipping on West Carolina. The final score there was 104 to 54. And unranked Pittsburgh defeated number 8 Michigan 85 to 78. There were a lot of college bowl games this week, but the national championship was only decided in one. In the Orange Bowl, Nebraska whipped Virginia Tech 41 to 21. In the Sun Bowl, the Stanford Cardinals shut out the Michigan State Wolverines 38 to 0. Now that's what I call a whooping. In the Independence Bowl, Army lost to Auburn 32 to 29. In the Heritage Bowl, Howard defeated Southern 27 to 24. And in the Nokia Sugar Bowl, the Florida Gators whipped the Florida State Seminoles 52 to 20. And for those of you that may not know, the Florida Gators are now college football's national champions. In the NFL, the Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys came out with an impressive 40 to 15 win over the Vikings. The Steelers also had an impressive win. They defeated the Colts 42 to 14. The Jaguars beat the Bills 30 to 27, and the 49ers defeated the Eagles. In the other news, Brett Favre was named NFL's most valuable player. Texas Tech's All-American running back Byron Hansford says that he will enter the 1997 NFL Draft. And track star Michael Johnson was voted the AP Top Sports Story of the Year. And once again, this is Brandon Bryant, bringing all you folks out there in Radio Land your Saturday morning sports page on the outstanding Clara Luper Radio Show.
Birthday to you. I'm sure there will be a birthday dinner for you, right?
Yes.
Oh, great, great. Well, that's wonderful. And a birthday cake for our sports report. This is a Clara Luper Radio Show on this January the 4th, 1997. Today, once again, we would like to tell you the qualifications of Miss Black Oklahoma City. You would have to be 17 by March 1st. You will have to be 17 by March 1st. Now, you will have to be a person with good moral values and all of that. I need not tell you that. We do not have any openings now for pages, but we do have openings for escorts. And those of you that would like to be an escort in the Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant, please call me 672-1220. But I'm looking for contestants because I want to make sure that every girl in Oklahoma City has a chance between 17 and 25 years of age. 17 to 25, that's my age. Nationally, you can be 17 to 29, but I love that 17 to 25. Call me at 672-1220. Do you have a sister that's outstanding? Do you have a daughter? Oh, we have to insist that our young people participate. And call me 672-1220 and let me hear from you. And don't wait until next week and say, Miss Luper, I have a daughter, because I want them this week. We're trying to get all of our young people together. And on Monday evening at 5:30, Monday evening at 6 o'clock, I'm asking the pages to meet, because at that time we do have something very important for all of our pages. The page program is a program that's really outstanding, because in order to be in that program, you have to really be willing to be trained, and we have to work directly with the parents, because the parents have to realize that we have to train our children our way. And we have 3 rules in Miss Black Oklahoma, and that's discipline, discipline, discipline. And if you don't want your child involved in that kind of program, don't call me, because I believe in discipline, discipline, discipline. If we can discipline your child, we can teach your child everything, providing is discipline. And when I say teach them, we don't teach anybody anything. All we do is expose it. We throw that ball out there, and they either catch it or drop it. Okay, you say that I don't love white. I love white folks just like they love me. My white friends love me so well until when I move in a neighborhood, they move out. Clara Luper reporting. Nathaniel Cobb, don't forget 942-41591, and he'll take those pictures and he will change them in such a way that you will be proud of them because you can look at them VCR. Are you ashamed of your beautiful daughters? Have you not tried to expose them into the world of competition? We're going to be running a series on what has happened to the young ladies that participated in the pageant. You will find them in better jobs. You will find them with their heads up because it is really something. I would also like to remind you, and one of our staff members, Dolly Hall, is now in Wichita, Kansas. Her mother died this morning. Dolly Hall's mother, Mrs. Helen Jackson, died this morning in Wichita, Kansas. I do not know when that funeral will be, but we will keep you informed. Let me get it straight now. This is Dolly Hall, the one of the staff members of Miss Black, Oklahoma. Her mother died this morning in Wichita, Kansas. Her name was Helen Jackson, and she is related to the Coopers, Letty Rose, Eleanor, and that group of Coopers. Well, I've told you about Gates Barbershop, but I didn't tell you that Mr. Gates really had a beautiful Christmas. His customers came in from all directions and they tipped him for Christmas. Well, I think that's really good to tip your barber. Tip your barber because your barber has kept your head looking good. Now, anytime somebody can keep your head looking good, you know that's something really worthwhile. My telephone number is 672-1220, and you may call me. We do not discriminate in Miss Black, Oklahoma. It's open to all young people. And if you don't want to be Miss Black, Oklahoma, I'm not going to change the name of it because I'm so proud of black. In fact, when we go to Lawton, we say everything goes with black, and the theme will be mountain top achievements for the 21st century. The theme for the Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant is spring. It's a spring celebration. And we want you to celebrate with us because at pageant, it will be a pageant, believe me. And for the first time, the escorts will have to wear tux because it's a spring celebration. And that is on March 1st, but you've got to sign up now in order that you can be ready. Calvin, you got to get your tux ready.
I keep my tux ready.
You got to get your tux ready because March 1st, 1997 will be Miss Black Oklahoma City. And at that time, we will select that young lady that will represent Oklahoma City and Oklahoma County in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant in Lawton, Oklahoma. Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. This is Valencia. I was just calling to remind you and the listening audience that we have a 6 o'clock school board meeting on Monday evening. That's when they'll be discussing the resegregation of schools. You remember that topic where they're wanting to stop busing?
Of course they want to stop busing
Right.
because if they can stop busing and put us all in the same boat, we really will be in the same boat.
Well, that school board meeting is going to be Monday. Anybody that wants to speak needs to be there to sign up, go inside to sign up at 6 o'clock. And they won't take anybody to sign up after 6:30.
Okay, so that would be at 900 North Klein?
Right.
Okay, so anybody that wants to speak, do you think their minds are already made up?
I don't know. I hope that we're hoping that to have some signs and all the supporters to come out. We've typed a letter, NAACP typed a letter today that's going out to churches, and we're going to try to get them out to parents and guardians that, to get involved if they don't want this to happen. If they're opposing this, then we want them to get involved. And hopefully we can reach enough people before Monday night to show up and let them know that this is fine.
Okay, well, you have certainly reached a lot of people because my radio audience is listening, and I do hope that they realize that this is just a step backward. Now, we are asking if they are going to have segregated schools, neighborhood schools, let's have neighborhood teachers.
Right.
And let's have neighborhood principals. Let's have neighborhood cooks and see how sincere they are. Thank you so very kindly for calling.
Thank
Do
you
you have
for
a
your
beautiful
time.
young lady that you could recommend for Miss Black Oklahoma City?
Midwest City.
From Midwest City?
Mm-hmm.
Well, think about it and call me at 672-1220 or 424-3949. Okay. I really appreciate that. And those of you that don't like it, now some of you sit down and say, well, I believe in segregated schools. You sure do. You believe in segregated schools. Don't believe in segregated jobs. You've got to put your beliefs together. Either you are with us or you're against us. The NACP has led this fight for integration. And for those of you that are eating in restaurants, that's an NACP victory. Those of you that's riding and driving buses, another NACP victory. And you've got to see the Ghost of Mississippi, another NACP victory. And don't forget where you came from. Okay, Calvin, are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? I'm talking about to go. Hello? Yes?
Good
Yes.
morning.
Good morning.
This is Shelley.
Yes, Shelley.
And how are you this morning?
Shelley, I'm really fine this morning and to hear from my baby daughter.
Well, that is just great. I wanted to be sure and call and wish all of your listeners out there in Radio Land a very happy and prosperous new year.
Well, great, and the same to you. I'm sure my listeners would like to say to you, Happy New Year, Shelley.
Well, thank you.
Do you have anything else you would like to say to my listening audience?
Sure, I would like to personally extend an invitation to all of your listeners to come by our Allstate office at 730 West Britton Road and stop by for a free quote on their homeowners, auto, or life insurance. It's the new year, brand new year, 1997, and I'd like to see if I could save them some money or offer them some better service with Allstate. After all, you're in good hands with Allstate, and being in good hands is the only place to be.
Oh, well, thank you, Shelley. What is that address?
730 West Britton Road. The telephone number is 843-0811.
All right, now, when I come out there, who will I see?
You will see Shelley, of course. You will see April, and you will probably also find Marilyn Hildreth there.
Okay, now, all of you are selling life insurance?
Yes.
Have you passed your examination?
Yes, I sure have.
You passed the state examination for life and what else?
For life insurance, health insurance, and property and casualty insurance, which includes home insurance, auto insurance, etc.
I know you are happy that you passed your examination.
I am just thrilled.
Okay, now you are inviting people to come out to your office. Now, what are your office hours?
We're open from 8:30 to 5:30, Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 5 on Fridays, and from about 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock on Saturdays.
Okay, so they could come out the other day and get some insurance, right?
Yes, they sure can.
The state requires you to have insurance, is that correct?
Yes, on your automobile, you're required to have liability insurance. That is correct.
Shelley, we have so many people recently that have seen the need for life insurance because of the fact that their people have passed, and a lot of times they just don't have enough money to take care of the necessities during that period. What would you say to those people?
I would certainly ask them to start planning ahead. Of course, no one likes to think about death and their funeral expenses, but that's something that we all face. And we certainly don't want to put any undue hardships upon our loved ones at that time. So I'd like to sit down and talk to them about their life insurance needs, funeral expenses, and also we have some great life policies that have some cash value features which may provide some extra cash for retirement.
Okay, Shelley, before you leave, I would like to ask you, what do you think about black English?
About black English
Yes,
being taught in school,
yes, being taught to the teachers.
I don't think that it should be taught in school to students. I think it's another way of showing how, or trying to prove that we as a people are genetically inferior, that we are not capable of learning standard American English and therefore must be taught a special English all of our own. And I don't see how useful that will be in trying to make it in corporate America, entrepreneurship, whatever goals may be. if we're not able to communicate effectively in society with standard American English.
I noticed before you got your job at Proline and also at Allstate, you had to pass various examinations, and many of them were interviews. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you think you could have gotten a job if you had been speaking black English?
No, I do not. Even though Proline is an African American company, Black English was not the standard language of the company. And there are so many different kinds of people that you deal with, vendors, buyers, and that simply would not have been appropriate.
Now let's talk about Allstate. Since you've been in Allstate, you have had to talk to the president, vice presidents, and all. Do you think you would have been able to impress them with broken English?
No, absolutely, without a doubt, no. And some of the top-ranking executives in Allstate are African American and are very, very effective communicators. And I think that in order to succeed, there's still the double standard that we as a people still have to work twice as hard just to be even considered half as good. And to speak with black English or the slang broken English would be just another excuse to keep us from progressing. We still have to work harder and be more prepared, more well educated than others to get ahead.
Okay, well, you are going to certainly get ahead because you're going to sell my radio and some insurance, right?
I would certainly love the opportunity to sell all of your radio listeners some insurance.
Maryland would like for you to say all except Maryland's customers.
Okay, I'll accept Maryland's customers.
Okay, okay. We see. I will really be interested in coming out to your office to see how you are doing, and I understand that you and Maryland and Apron Calvin are all in a contest to see who's gonna sell the most life insurance, car insurance in 1997.
And I hope that will be me.
Okay, we'll see, and we'll keep our audience informed. Thank you so
Okay.
very kindly, and I'll see you today.
Okay.
This is the Clara Luper Radio Show. Now remember, those of you that are interested in Miss Black Oklahoma City, this is your time. If you have not gotten facts about the Black History Monument and Wall, call me, 424-3949 or 426-721-220. Hello? Hello?
Miss Luper?
Yes.
This is George Young. Good morning.
Oh, George, I've been waiting on you.
Well, this morning I just want to first challenge our parents to push us as children and to encourage us to set goals, reach goals, and accomplish everything we set out to do. Please, parents, teach us proper English. We want to continue to succeed, not fail. I want to challenge our teachers to encourage us as students to want to learn proper English. Also, our teachers to want us to learn all we can since we as black Americans, while in slavery, were not allowed to learn. It was against the law. Please, teachers, teach us proper English. It really lets me down to know that I, as a black American child, have to be set apart by the English that I speak and others speak. I can't believe that people would even consider coloring my English. Now, Miss Luper, I agree with you. We must be taught proper English. Please, we want to speak proper English. This is George Young with As I See It.
As you see it, George, and certainly that is the way I see it. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show. Now, I would like to talk to my people. I am so tired. I am so tired of people, our people, being involved in crime. I am tired of it. Do you realize that if we could say we aren't going to steal anything from anybody, we aren't going to kill anybody, we aren't going to get out and do anything that will fill the jails? We appeal to you to stay out of jail, and you can stay out of jail by staying out of jail. And to stay out of jail, you stay away from your enemies, drugs, thieves, and what have you. You do not have to do it. And somebody say, Clara, you're always telling us what not to do. And you're old-timey. You're right, but I'm not in jail. I might be old-timey, but I'm not in jail. And I think that's a plus. What I would like for you young people to realize that all of these name brand clothes and all of that stuff, that is not what you're looking for. You're looking for self-respect. You want to be honest because you are a person. You are an individual. And when God made you, he threw the mold away. There will never be another you. I want you to be good. Now, those of you that are in jail, I want you to plan on changing your lives so that you can stand up and you say, okay, I made a mistake. I want to confess my mistakes, but from now on, I'm going to do what's right because it's right. You tell me, Miss Luper, you can't make money unless you're in some illegal business. And I'm saying, so what? You don't have to make money all in one day. You spread it around because even if you make it, you can't put it in the bank. And you certainly, when you start spending it, you start spending your way to jail. Okay, now you say, Miss Luper, you're not my mother. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. We are all mothers, and you are our children. And whatever you do, reflect. It really reflects on all of us. I am so happy that I have the opportunity to tell you. Now, whether you believe me or not, that's your business. But I have the satisfaction when I go home and go out on my lake to know that I did my best to tell you to stay out of trouble. Suppose for a minute that you don't steal. Because if you start stealing as little children, you'll be stealing as adolescents and then as adults, and you will be in jail. And we don't want you in jail. We want you up with us. And I would like to thank those of you that's so kind to speak to me and to make me remember you. You are just so sweet, and I love you. I love you. I love you. Yes, hello? Okay. I'm sorry if I missed you. Okay. Did we get it? Hello? Yes? Okay, if I missed you, I just missed you. And remember, you can call me afterwards at 424-3949, and I'll be talking to you this evening on Channel 13 at 5:30 p.m. and on tomorrow at 8 p.m. on Channel 43. Be sure and write that down. On Saturday, January the 4th at 5:30 p.m., I will be on Channel 13. And on Sunday, January the 15th, I will be on Channel 43. And I will be giving my opinions along with our Secretary of our Education leader, Miss Gary. It's been a pleasure to be with you. And whatever you do, just remember to stay out of trouble. And I love you.